open the heart, and that yearning to connect with that is pure, then automatically we're connecting with the self, with the here, with the now, and the yearning becomes joyous, becomes blissful, becomes totally fulfilling. Is there anybody else who wants to come in? Maybe rather talk about your story than my story.
Hi, Werner.
Hello, Helen.
Hi. Yeah, just about Arunachala, yearning for, it's like yearning for the beloved.
Yeah.
I have some time now, again, on house sitting, and what comes up for me is yearning for the beloved, yearning for completion, wholeness.
Yes. Right.
And that really touched me, seeing Arunachala, because out of the blue I had a yearning to go to Arunachala, totally logically. I'd been there many years ago and nothing, I had felt nothing, and then suddenly I'm crying for Arunachala, and I have to go there even though I knew nobody. I for me it wasn't special, but it was something that pushed me to go to Arunachala. My soulmate passed away. We were together 20 years, and it's the thing with soulmate passing was it was like an understanding that he had to pass so that instead of feeling complete with each other, that completion would happen within.
Yes.
And I don't know what I'm asking really, except I feel a kind of a yearning and a pain. Right. And I'm just asking really what that pain is. It's the pain of separation, I guess. I mean, could you talk about the pain of separation?
Right. Actually, the separation is an illusion, but still it creates pain. As long as that feeling is there of separation, then there is that longing for completion. And Cyril said, well, one should feel everywhere the same. And of course, what is essentially here, Arunachala, is everywhere. Now, within manifestation, no doubt, that same essence is also manifesting energetically differently. And this is a power place that helps us to connect with our own inner Arunachala, with our immovable aspect. And so it can happen that when you have been here and you felt more of that after that, when you are away, your longing is to come back to the place, Arunachala, but actually it's the longing for your true nature.
Yeah.
It's the longing for being at peace, at ease, naturally, complete. Everybody deep down knows that should be natural. That's what I am. It should be natural. So somehow, as long as that is not the experience, there is always that longing. As long as people are not conscious, then that longing is being directed no matter onto what, and people run and do this and do that and hope to get that fulfillment by doing all kinds of crazy things and accumulating wealth and getting kicks here and there, and it never works because that completion is our true nature, and we have to bring the attention back to that. Now, sometimes it can be very helpful if you have a symbol in this world where you feel that more easily, to connect with Arunachala makes you connect. So we can yearn in different ways. We can yearn and then get more and more upset for not being at the place we are yearning for, or not experiencing what we are yearning for, or we can just use that yearning to connect. And the yearning in itself is fulfilling.
Yes. Yes, that's true, because this morning I was writing poetry to the beloved Arunachala, and it made me feel really, it brought light. So that's it. It's not to turn it into a, how can I get there?
You know, in the beginning when I came to Amma, I was mad. I was mad with that idea. I want enlightenment. And it was a total brain thing. And I want something. It's not that I wanted to get rid of that identification with this Werner guy, but Werner want something.
Yes.
And of course, that yearning was always very painful. I want something, getting nothing, and being miserable about it. And Amma tried sometimes to give hints. Once she said, but when I used to yearn for God, there was so much bliss in it. And I thought, oh, bliss, my God, I yearn and I feel miserable. Eventually, I became aware what she really started to point out, because it was not the yearning that was making me miserable, but that on top of the yearning, I put all my self-importance. Me, I want.
Yes.
But if we learn to let go of that, then the yearning in itself is totally fulfilling. Because with the yearning, you're connecting with the essence, and the more you connect, the more that joyousness of existence comes to the present, to your experience. The yearning itself is the path and the goal and the connection, the experience.
Yes.
So the trick is simply to yearn not with ego, not with self-importance. Me, I as a person want something. But open the heart and let that yearning flow, and the very yearning will carry you wherever you have to go.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. Because this morning, that's how it was. And I like to read Rumi poetry of yearning for the beloved. It really, I can really connect with it. And this morning I was writing poetry myself.
Yeah.
It's just, I saw Arunachala, that suddenly mind kicked in, like, oh, I need to get there, I need to go there. And it's that was painful. I realized that the mind was kicking in with a force, and that was changing this yearning, this beautiful yearning, into greed and grabbing. Yeah.
Right. And then we can, of course, make the all big, bad, troubling story on it. Oh, it's so terrible. I would like to be there. I cannot be there. And
yes.
And all that. And then out of something beautiful can come something very, very painful.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
But if we let that aspect go, the yearning starts to become more and more blissful in itself.
Yes. Yes, I feel it.
Right. It's natural, that yearning. Everybody knows that as long as we feel that sense of separation, something is not quite right. It's not.
Yes.
It's not our natural way of existing. Yeah. And so naturally that yearning is there, whether we are conscious of it or not, or whether we are becoming aware of its in its purity, or we are putting all kinds of stories on top of it. But that yearning is not wrong. That yearning is the call for the mind, for the attention to come home.
Yes.
It's just we have to learn to yearn wisely. not,
Yes.
not greedily.
Yes. Yes, thank you. That's been really helpful. That's cleared something. Yes.
Nice. Good. Wonderful.
Thank you, Verna.
Hari Om. Hari Om.
Yeah.
Is there anybody else who would like to come? Anybody is welcome. Okay, let's stay with that yearning for a little moment more, because sometimes Advaita people say, but if you yearn, then you create a separation by your yearning. Then it's you and your goal, you and your beloved, you and something that you are yearning for, and you artificially create a separation. We are only doing that when we yearn with self-importance. Me, I, the person, want this, want that. Of course, there is never a separation. Of course, we cannot be apart from that essence, from that reality. It's here, it's now. It's that which makes every experience possible. Without that, you can't wriggle a finger. It's that which is the juice, is the life, is the consciousness, is that sense of life that we are touching when we are bringing the attention to the present. The yearning simply comes out of the habitual experience of feeling separate, of feeling limited, of being a person that is me and out there are all the others. And as long as the experience is that, then the yearning is really the pathway that is opening the attention to come back home and be aware you have never been apart. You reconnect consciously. There's nothing wrong with yearning. There's nothing wrong with yearning for truth, for infinity. We are not creating a separation. The separation we are creating because we are identifying with that role, with that name, with what we are doing, with our story, our memories, our expectations for the future. And the more we mixing that into the yearning, the more the yearning becomes painful. But if yearning becomes pure, then the joyousness of existence is flowing through that yearning already. And if you are really getting to the heart of it, to the source of it, yearning in its pure essence, then you are totally connected. And the yearning is not more for something that is not there, but a natural yearning of existence, of wanting to expand the experience of it. Essentially, never changing, immovable, untouched, and yet longing to experience that oneness, that essence ever more expansive. But why do people sometimes smile about devotees who yearn for God and yearn for this and yearn for that? But that's just another mental trip. That is just another intellectual arrogance, and in itself, it's an identification with the me personality. I know what is true. Every philosophy can be turned around to justify me as a person, as being somebody who knows what is true, what is the right way. Or the philosophy can be an inspiration to let go of all that and really bring the attention back to the source, to the beauty, to the joyousness of existence. It can be done in different way, but pure yearning is a wonderful way. It just opens up all the doors. Helen mentioned the pain of yearning. Right. I know very much about that pain because I produced it a lot. Wanting something, not getting something, being very pissed off about it and being in pain. But it's just that identification with that me. I yearned for truth, and there was a sincerity about it, but at the same time, I didn't want to let go of that identification. Instead of really, purely yearning for truth, I yearned for something, but me, I, Werner, should get that. Me, I, Werner, should experience that. And as long as we are doing that, then we are asking for trouble. Then the yearning can be very painful. But if we learn to just open up the heart, whether it's totally abstract, whether it's with the form of God, any form of God, it's the same divinity that is manifesting, that is expressing itself in all these divine forms, or whether it's with the form of Arunachala. If you open the heart and that yearning to connect with that is pure, then automatically reconnecting with the self, with the here, with the now, and the yearning becomes joyous, becomes blissful, becomes totally fulfilling in itself.